Hello and welcome to another episode of the final Siren with Duck and Oz from the Purple Rain. Our last one for 2023 inside the change rooms. It's good to be back in the change rooms for this season, Oz. Obviously, COVID restrictions the last two seasons meant that we've been away, but it's great to be back down here in the change rooms. However, mate, a little bit of a disappointing loss today. Fremantle Dockers 8-10-58, defeated by Port Adelaide 11-8-74 by 16 points in front of 38,000 fans. Oz, any thoughts on it straight off the bat?
Yeah, look, I thought structurally we were sound. I thought we looked really good, but I guess the execution of skills was, as baffling as trying to get out of Cockburn Central in that car park. And it was just one of those things that, we were seeing the kicks that were on and they were willing to take those kicks on early but just weren't able to execute. And then we saw Port just be able to turn the screws, turn the ball over, and then they were just critical and they executed their skills. And really, if you look at the breakdown, mate, it was sort of the second and the third quarter where Port really started to put that momentum to the game, so to speak, and we just weren't able to arrest that momentum. And then obviously the goals towards the end there helped tidy the scoreline up a little bit, but we were just outclassed in the end, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, 3 goals to 7 in that second and third quarter overall. And look, the difference I think really was the execution inside 50. If you look at Port Adelaide in that second and third quarter, even in the first quarter, they went at 29% inside 50, 36% inside 50, 27% inside 50. Whereas on the flip side, we've gone at 13%, 18%, 11%.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, is that ball movement and that final ball into the final third. It's been an Achilles heel of ours. We talk about 10 years hard labour to score a goal, but it's continued to be an Achilles heel this year. And look, you're not going to kick winning scores if you can't execute those skills going inside 50. And the ball inside 50 was poor. When we got it inside 50, we were very panicky. There was a couple of opportunities we did have to kick goals. Banner's nearly kicked goal of the year. But unfortunately that was touched. But again, he had a few opportunities here and there. There was a couple of really poor executions. There was a couple of guys who burnt blokes who were on leads and really put in that effort, which is disappointing, because that's what you want to see. If a guy gives you a really great lead, reward that lead. And I think it's something that we've got to build into our game plan and continue to develop. But look, it was that forward execution. In the end, Port Adelaide go at 27.5% inside 50. We go at 17.4. We had more inside 50s. Had 4 more inside 50s, Oz.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't execute. And there was a number of times where we actually got it on the break. We're on the hop and we just panicked.
Yeah.
Just panicked and just missed skills and missed really simple skills that at this level we need to be executing. However, when you look at the age difference between the two teams, we're 23 years and 10 months. I think this is the youngest side we've just about put in all year. We're only averaging 67 games compared to Port's 102. So if you're looking at that, and you're even just looking at the difference between Neil Erasmus as the sub versus Travis Boak. Now, Travis Boak, a champion of the game, he's able to come on, have that luxury just after half-time, and then, Neil Erasmus in what is one of his first 10 games just about, still learning his craft. So just those differences in the sides and where they're at the moment. I think we've got a little bit of growth to go, and, you could see the game plan was there. To beat Port Adelaide. However, we just couldn't execute it.
Yeah, and look, one of the things I want to point out is, in terms of the game plan, I thought the effort was up, the intensity was up, the pressure was ranked elite by whatever the metrics are.
The boffins at Fox Footy.
Whatever they put out there. But if you look at the tackles, for example, 62-46, Freo's favour, 9 tackles inside 50, again, versus 4. So the small forwards and the forwards in general were putting the pressure on, they were putting the heat on. So really, the game plan, the structure was there. The effort, the intensity was there. And it just came down to executing. And that's, again, the hallmark of, in this case, a top 4 side who's just able to take their opportunities and take advantage of their opportunities. But we're close. And that I love to, obviously we do need to point out what we see, and obviously what we want to work on over the off season. Clearly and we asked the question last week, and and Bretto answered honestly by saying he does see the guys working on their skill execution, hitting those lead-up targets inside 50, which is great. And it's just now a matter of the reps, of the young guys having the reps and then being able to execute on game day under AFL intensity, heat, scrutiny, and being able to hit those targets. And that's the difference, because we know our forwards can kick goals. And I thought one guy, Duck, if I could just ask you this question that I thought we sorely missed today, just purely because of leadership, but also the fact that he's a steady kick, Michael Walters.
Yeah.
He would have been very handy in that forward line when we needed someone to kick a goal. But I'm just going to pass over to you, because I think the man of the moment, Tom Emmett, I thought fantastic in his debut, Duck. Talk to us about him.
Yeah, I mean, we had young Wags on the pod a couple of weeks ago, and he spoke about him being a wrecking ball.
Oh, yeah.
And he just brought that effort. Now, the Crimean War look, the head banner, like the bandage head, the hardness. That's the that's the blue collar stuff that you want from a Docker. And then to get that reward by kicking 2 goals and standing up when we needed him to, 13 disposals. I thought he was really, really solid in his debut, and to not be overawed in that moment, to pick up the speed of the game quite quickly, I thought that was outstanding by this young man.
I love the nuances of the game, Duck, and I love the fact that when he was putting body pressure on, both obviously with tackle, but also off the ball, if he was giving a handball off, it wasn't just a handball and that's it was a handball and a shepherd, or it was a referred arm across, and it was something like that. I thought that he did really well to try and execute that physicality. And, for someone who's coming in for their first time, a great opportunity. He's 21 years old. He's from the Junior Footy Club of Payneham, Northwood FC, then through Sturt. But I'm just going to throw something at you. And if we get an opportunity to speak to him, I'm not sure if he's coming on, but if we get an opportunity to speak to him, his agility was 8.16 seconds in the combine, and his 2K time trial ranked him 4th in South Australia. So there's actually a couple of traits there that I thought we saw in a very small pocket of opportunity, where he's actually come out and he's got those repeat sprints, repeat efforts. His agility is great, earned himself a couple of free kicks, and I thought ultimately does not look out of place. I thought he had a great debut, Duck, and I think probably earns his spot again next week.
Yeah, and by the footage that we saw put out by the club during the week, obviously a much-loved figure down at the Dockers and the way he goes about it. So I think we see a bit of a bright future with this young man. He's only 21 years of age. He's a mature age recruit in the sense of the AFL. But look, I think we've managed to snavel another one, and David Walls does another good job picking up a guy in the later rounds of the draft, a mature age guy like your Lockie Schultz and your Sam Switkowski, guys that really played well today.
Yeah.
And even thinking about your Michael Frederick, I think we've been able to get these guys in the later rounds, and that's where you make your money in your AFL draft. And look, we have to go back to the draft again and continue to build on this team. And if we can snavel up some more guys like that who bring effort and things like that. And I guess that's the big thing from today. I think the effort and the pressure was elite, like you said. However, the execution just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that comes with the young side. I think the big thing at the moment for this side and what's happened from this year to last year is that essentially this year we've gone 4-7 at home. And good teams, good interstate teams, non-Victorian teams, make their home ground an absolute furnace. They make it hard to come to. They make it a fortress. They make it that blokes get on the plane and they go, oh man, we're going to go play the Dockers at home. At Optus. Oh, I can't. And you beat them before you get there.
Yep.
You beat them mentally before they even step onto the field. So I think that's something that we've really got to start to build upon. We went 8-4 last year, and that's probably the difference, is just us winning games at home compared to, because away from home we're actually quite steady. I think we've just got to get these games at home and reward the fans that keep coming back.
Yep.
We've got a really loyal and the most loyal fan base just about. We've got a super loyal fan base, so we've got to start to reward them with wins at home. Yeah?
Beautiful.
Easy peasy.
Okay, we're joined by Tom Emmett, debut today, mate. Obviously, you came in like a wrecking ball. And I know obviously the result isn't what you wanted, but we were just talking about you. We were talking about the debut and the positivity that came from that debut. Love the Crimea War look with the bandage. You're throwing your body around, mate. But I tell you what, in terms of your debut, talk to us about, from your perspective, about how you found it.
Yeah, it was awesome to actually run out with like those boys. You sit up in the stands all season and you kind of dream about doing it, and then all the boys, they kind of just told me to kind of like soak it in and really try and enjoy it, because a lot of people obviously stress about it, and that's what I really tried to do. And then once the game starts, you just play footy.
Talk to us about kicking that first goal, mate. How did it feel?
Yeah, unbelievable. Can't describe it. As a kid growing up, like I've always thought about imagine if you kick your first goal. How'd that feel? And then when I was walking back, I actually thought about it. I was just thinking what an opportunity I've got here, and then to actually kick it, it was just awesome.
Look, great story, but I really want to focus on the physicality, mate, because we were just lauding praise on you for just the way you're attacking the footy, and love not just the tackles, but obviously off the ball, you're bumping and you're giving good shepherds as well. That's obviously a key component of your game. Yeah,
the physicality and the pressures, my strengths, and that's pretty similar to someone like Lockie Schultz as well. I watch a lot of his vision, and we've got pretty similar brands that we play, but those blocks and those shepherds and that pressure, that's what the coaches really reward, and that's what they love. So that's my role, and I was super lucky to end up with 2 free kicks and 2 goals, but the tackles, the perceived pressure, the shepherds, that's what the coaches really prioritise and love.
Fantastic. And just talk to us a little bit about your journey. Obviously you've come from South Australia, mature age pick, you've had your cancer and then your Achilles injury. How rewarding is this for you and your family and all your friends and all the people you know?
Yeah, it's crazy. Being sick, and everyone, the 4 mates that came over, they were there by me when I was sick for so long, and we did all fundraisers and finally got through all that, and then have an Achilles injury. I remember when I had my Achilles injury, the doctor was like, some people that play sport, they can never run properly again. So to be able to come back and actually get to this moment, it's just something that all my friends and family, they wouldn't have thought probably was going to happen. It was hopeful, but to actually happen, it was amazing.
It's a great story in sport, to be honest, when you see the story of adversity and whatnot, and being able to overcome it. Do you feel at home on there, because you certainly look like you belong out there? Did you feel comfortable out there knowing the journey that you've got to this point is almost far more difficult than getting out there and playing? You're feeling confident about being out there every week now?
Yeah. I mean, it's a very kind of different game to waffle and sandful football. It is very different, and it's a lot cleaner and it's a lot more predictable. And it's what we get taught about so much at the club, our game plan and stuff, and to see it be executed a lot cleaner. And I mean, I'm just trying to play my role, and if the coaches see I'm doing that, then hopefully there's a spot for me out on the side.
Now, I'm going to take a little sideways take on this interview. Now, Paul Mescal from Normal People, mate. I'm going to show you a photo of him. This bloke here. Is this your doppelganger or not? And I know Bretto's going to put this up.
Do you reckon?
This guy, he's a good-looking rooster, mate, but he's a superstar. Do you reckon he's got a bit of Tom Emmett about him?
Or has he got a bit of you?
Yeah, I think that he's got a bit of me. I might get that haircut next time.
I think it's a similar kind of salad going on. If you go on, if you've got Stan, watch Normal People. It's a bit of a heart wrencher, but plays quite a dramatic actor. But he's no relation.
No relation, unfortunately.
If I could bring it back to footy, obviously down the club you would have had a mentor, someone showing the ropes and helping you out. Who's that, and how's he been helpful for you?
I've had numerous mentors. I mean, I don't have one mate. Trav Collier's helped me so much in the waffle. Sorry,
he's a good man.
We do kicking with him on our flush day early. Just me, him, and Adam Reid, the coach, and then I watch a lot of Lockie Schultz's vision with him. But blokes like Sonny Walters helps me so much. Just making you feel super welcome and included in the club. I stayed with Michael Frederick when I first got here, so we're super close. And Switter's been just a massive help as well. So I don't have one mentor because they're all helping me. It's such an inclusive club and they're just amazing.
Beautiful.
Nice, mate. Now, what about when it comes to the coaches? You mentioned Reedy there. Is there any other coaches, obviously down at Peel, that are helping you out with your craft?
Yeah, Reedy helps a lot down at Peel, and he does, touch in the morning and helps me out so much. I caught up for coffee with him this week to do my vision on the off day, just because he puts so much time into us. And then JG, obviously Jamie Graham, the head coach, he's got plenty of time and he's always there if you want to do extra touch or just speak about footy. So yeah.
Nice. Now, obviously, stats today, mate. 13 disposals, 7 kicks, 6 handballs, 3 tackles, 249 metres gained, and, of course, 2 snags. Where to from here? Where do you see yourself growing from here?
Yeah, probably more tackles, more pressure acts. That's my brand, and tackles and perceived pressure, that's what I've got to bring every week. You can't think about goals, that's just an outcome. And yeah, as long as I'm breaking for space, playing in my position correctly, that's all that the coaches will look at. They don't really look at stats.
Can I ask a secondary, quick secondary
Yeah.
question? I can't remember who the player was, but it was early on, and you can't remember who the player was, and he's down on the ground, and I've turned to this big guy and I've gone, mate, we got ourselves a physical forward here. This is exciting. Was that did that feel good, like a clean hit, ball in contest, all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I can't remember who the player was, but yeah, I mean, about 6 weeks ago, there was a ball like that at training, and I didn't do the correct technique and got a concussion for 2 weeks. So I've gone away with Smithy, our Joel Corey, the midfield coach, and done a lot of contest work in the mornings. We do that contest and touch to just get my technique right, because I've got a bigger body, so I need to be able to use it correctly.
Yep. Now, I think final one from us. Weirdest unit at the club?
Matt Taberner's 2 down from me, 2 lockers down, and he sent me I actually didn't reply to his message, but he sent me a absolute pisser just to get around me, and he helps me out so much. He gave me a coffee machine the other day, so
hello.
Yeah, old coffee machine. He's a cracker. He's weird, but I love him.
Man for others.
Fantastic. All right, Tom Emmett, thank you very much for joining us, mate.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
All righty, well, that just about wraps it up for us for another season,
Yes.
Oz. Fantastic to have you by my side. Thank you once again to the Fremantle Football Club for having us down here in the change rooms. Remember, guys, we're at Purple Rain 95 on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We do a preview and a review podcast every Thursday and Monday. Make sure you get around our socials and get around our podcast. And let's just hope we finish the season well against Hawthorn next week at the G, which is a bit of a rare occurrence. Surprised they haven't flexed that fixture down to Launceston, but that's great to get back out on the G. And then let's really hope we have a really solid October in the trade period, November in the draft, and then bring back the boys into full fighting fit form, and a massive pre-season coming ahead for us, because there's so much potential in this team. However, we've got to start delivering on that potential. Yeah,
look, absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure to be part of the footy club, and you see so much positivity, I see in the games and the growth and whatnot, and it's only going to go up, mate. And as one artist once said, mate, the only way is up, baby.
All right, guys, thank you very much, and remember to make sure you like on the YouTube. Click the bell and get all the stuff. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.